Hello, plants and herbs. I'm LaDevis, and I'm JB Studios' writer and consultant. And welcome to GreenCast. GreenCast is a sort of live, unscripted podcast where we show our followers what's happening behind the scenes during the development of our first visual novel. As a disclaimer, there are major spoilers in this series, so if you don't want to be spoiled, don't go further. See you there and have a nice day. Alright, hello everyone, and welcome to Greencast, the official podcast for talking about any news, updates, or information on the visual novel called Greenery City, developed by Judith here, which is with me, also known as JB. In this podcast, we're going to be going over a few questions, like an interview with Judith slash JB, yeah, we're going to go over some updates, progress on development, all that stuff. Let's get straight into it. So, Judith, what inspired you to create a story for Greenery City, and is it based on a real story? Like, is it based on a story that actually happened, and your inspiration for the story? What is it?
Technically, it's not based on a real story, but it's based on a real person. Me, I used my personality to make the main protagonist, Clover, because he is a shy guy and shy plant because he is non-binary. Um, but yeah, I used my personality, how I was in sixth grade, to fit into the character and just base my personality off the character.
So yeah, it's based on your personality, but not really a story. But weren't you bullied a lot? And Clover in the game, of course, is getting bullied. So wouldn't that be related to your story as well?
Technically, it's not a story. It would be a how to say? It would be like a trait that I've had. It's not a full story. Like it's not it doesn't explain my whole life, but it explains a trait of my life.
Yeah, but what I mean is that an inspiration. It's like if it's inspired on a real story, it doesn't need to be like how should I put this? It doesn't need to explain your entire life, but when something is inspired or based on a true story, it's not completely that true. It won't always be completely the real story, but it does include some aspects that are based on the real story. So that means if Clover got bullied, you got bullied a lot in your life, they would introduce an aspect of your life.
Yes.
Or
So I guess it would be based on a true story.
a bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so question 2, or I shouldn't even say that, but anyway, next question. How did you come up with Clover's character and when?
I came up with his character design in sixth grade. Um, where I was listening. It was like almost the end of the year, and it was a free class, so we were listening to songs, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna draw," and I put the song "I'm So Lucky" by I don't remember which artist, but yeah. I
Yeah.
thought like, oh, clovers are lucky. Why not I make an original character based on a clover? And I did that, and I came up with Clove and Clover, the siblings. So yeah.
And I like how Clover is getting bullied in the game because he's a four-leaf clover, and in the real world, that's really rare. So that means it's like the only good clover in the entire school, in the entire university, but it's really rare in the world. That's why you made him a four-leaf clover.
Yeah, I used the aspect of having a four leaf clover not to be like the greatest thing alive. I use the ratio of when you're different, you get bullied. I use that ratio to make the game because it would be a little bit more interesting. So yeah. Plus, I
Yeah.
got bullied for being different.
Yeah, and so you made one of your main inspirations to create characters is of course music, right?
Yes, music and plants that I
Plants,
see.
yeah. So you must like plants a lot too.
Yeah, I could say that.
All right, everyone, we're just going to be going through for a small intermission because we need to check if there are any technical issues remaining with the recording.
5 minutes later.
All right, everyone. Welcome back, and we just had a small intermission checking for technical difficulties, which there aren't, which is great. Now, I'm still here with the creator, JB or Judith, and we're going to continue the interview and get some more information. So, Judith, how much time do you think it's going to take approximately to get the demo out?
At least 3 or 4 months because I do have school after the Christmas break, and I do go to my mother's after this week. So I will have a little bit of difficulty working on it after this week. Now the progress has been far more easy to do because I've been home most of the time. But yeah, at least 3 to 4 months.
All right, and but I do think that with the pace that you're going with, I think that is pretty realistic. Considering the fact that in just one week you made so much progress already, but that's probably gonna bog down once school hits us all again. But let me tell you something. There's a chance that we may still there may be still more time to work on the game in January because the schools in Quebec still have there are still chances that there will be strikes from the teachers union. Anyway,
Honestly, without offending any teachers, I wish there was a strike because right now working on a game is so fucking difficult. So yeah, honestly, I wish there's a strike, but I also don't wish it because teachers need to get their pay.
I
Really.
mean there isn't really a deadline for it. I mean, not many people are waiting for it as of now.
Yeah.
There hasn't been much marketing that has been made. All right, next
I wish
question.
that people would wait for that would be excited for my game,
Yeah,
but
well,
I
that
don't
that will come.
know.
That will come. Okay, that will
I
come.
hope. I hope. I hope. Yeah.
All right. Next question. Are there any other visual novels that you took inspiration from for to create the game? And is there any aspects in the game that are inspired from other visual novels? If there's the art style is also inspired from other visual novels. Like, is there any sorry? Did you inspire yourself? Sorry. Did you inspire yourself from any other visual novels?
Yes, I inspired myself.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
Action. All right, so now we're back. We just had a small intermission to deal with again. Hopefully now that's over. So Judith, what were you saying again? What do you add some inspiration for? What visual novel did you take inspiration and all that?
I took inspiration from the aesthetic of John Doe because it goes from like weird to normal, but I went from normal to weird. Well, weird. It's more like anxiety filled and traumatic than weird. So yeah.
Yeah, well,
I also
what I've seen that the graphics in the graphics and sort of animations that are going to be in the game are going to be made to give a lot of emotional. It's going to make the players feel things. For example, I saw the scene where you feel anxiety and all that. That makes you feel like you are anxious yourself in real life. Like it makes the players feel things that makes them enjoy the game because it brings entertainment. It's like if you felt anxious yourself. And I also really like how the dialogue in the game is made because it includes another part. Like for example, on the scene where there's the bullies, where Clover getting bullied and you have to help him or run away, in that scene, dialogue from the bullies and everything, along with the music, it really gives like a scary environment, and you're scared. It makes you scared of what will happen and if you will die if you make a specific wrong choice. So it's like it really brings the thrill of what a game should bring, in my opinion.
Yeah. But yeah, I got inspired from John Doe, and I also got inspired from Something's Wrong with Sunny Day Jack, made by Snack Pop Studios. I really like their art style, by the way. But I got inspired from that to put some voice acting into the thing, even though I don't have the greatest setup for voice acting. I don't do all the voices. We have voice actors in the studio, quote unquote, the online studio.
Yeah, quote unquote studio.
Quote unquote studio. It's JV Studio. So.
Yeah, but we do have some. We do have a couple professionals. Oh well, you can say professionals.
Yeah, they have experience.
Yeah,
at least.
well, we have some people. Now, well, you could. I don't know if you could say professionals, but we do have some voice actors that are pretty a bit older and have some more experience in voice acting, and so for the people watching, you can expect some great voice acting in certain characters. We have vetted and checked out the portfolio. They're really nice. So yeah, and so but wait, did you said from which visual novel did you inspire putting voice acting in it?
The visual novel of Sunny Day Jack, made by Snack Pop Studios.
Okay, got it. Next question. Would you mind showing us some concept art of the? Would you mind showing us some concept art of the? Of a couple of characters that you would find interesting to talk about on this podcast, on this recording.
How do I show again?
No. You don't need to show them directly. We'll put them in the editing so that the viewers can see. So for now, just choose a character and describe them as we will put it into post-production as well.
Sure. Okay. But yeah, we have this weird character. His name is Antoine.
Yeah, Anthony.
Or Anthony in English, because we based the name off of someone in our school right now who brought weed in class in math period.
And he also vaped in class,
really
and like we made this character. This character was made because we wanted to make fun of him. Because firstly, he brought weed in class, he vaped in class, and generally he's one of the biggest douchebags in our class. So yeah, he's the biggest douchebag we know in the school. So we just want to make a character to make fun of him because I don't know, he deserves it.
Yeah. So the nickname for this is the weed flower.
Yeah.
So,
but what does this character do? Like, what does he do?
Well, in the game, you have a choice. In the locker scene, this is a big spoiler.
Yeah, and also you have been warned that you have been warned that there will be spoilers in this podcast. So it's your fault if you got spoiled.
So, in the lockers scene, you have you have two choices. You have the choice to bring nothing, or to bring homework. If you bring homework, you're gonna get the popular kid, which I will talk about later. But if you bring nothing, you're gonna be faced with the weed flower, which is gonna take you away to a park and then ask you if you want weed. You can either refuse meanly, or say yes and then die from weed allergies. Technically, it makes no sense to smoke weed as a plant. I get it. It's weird, but yeah, it's the only thing I could find.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the only trouble that we can find.
Yeah, because the cause of death actually is that the character you're playing is allergic to weed. So
you're allergic to weed, but you don't know it.
Yeah, and we actually it's possible to be addicted, not addicted, allergic to weed. Can't be addicted and
You were
allergic.
gonna say addicted.
Yeah, I was
That
about to say
is weird,
addicted, but it
but
was an
you meant
accident.
allergic. Yeah.
But yeah, and you mentioned something about the popular kid. Who is he?
Yes,
Who is
the
he?
popular kid. Well, the popular kid is like a mushroom. I made a design for them early on back. I'll need to get like my old sketchbook. But yeah, it's a mushroom with a bunch of eyes and an eye for a tail, and it's just weird. But he is supposed to be the popular kid because mushrooms are popular in the weird core world.
You
So,
mean like mushrooms are popular in like the drug world?
well, not drug world. Weird core is like the aesthetic I wanted to go for with the
I think
plants
you,
and the eyes.
I think you were talking about like the magic fancy mushroom world. You know, like you eat a mushroom, you go fucking high.
Yeah, technically.
Yeah.
So, it's popular for everyone knows this type of mushroom. It's the Amanita muscaria. Everyone draws it. Everyone thinks of it when someone says mushroom. Maybe they think of the grey one that is edible, but this one isn't edible.
Yeah,
At all.
and you didn't describe the wheat flower. Is he what flower do you? How did it look like?
Well, it's technically a normal cartoonish flower. He looks very, dreamy. Not the kind of dreamy you're thinking of. He's not
He's
handsome.
always speaking
He's
like he's high. Like, yo, what's up, dude?
he does the voice for it, but
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm the voice actor for him. I'm not the best, but it's not my type of voice. I'm good at doing strained voice. You really voices where you need a high amount of control on your vocal cords. Like, you know, the voice for Mr. Kane in the visual novel. Like, good morning, class. Like, that's a voice where you need to position your mouth strategically and have high amount of control over your vocal cords. So, like, that's voices I'm good with. But we couldn't find anyone else to do the weed guy, so I had to do it, of course.
But yeah, the Anthony, aka the weed flower, has pink petals, yellow face, and a actually green body, and he's green stem slash body. And he's the only one wearing clothes because that adds more to his aesthetic. I don't care if all the other characters are naked or have one bow tie. He's a hippie slash weed addict, so he looks like a hippie. Okay.
But
So,
weed addicts aren't usually seen as as like hippies. Like weed addicts are seen as like the like the type of guy who's like has sunglasses, has like a dollar golden chain, you know, tattoos everywhere, like a fucking wannabe gangster, you know, like that's what I think of when I think weed smoker, like just a wannabe gangster, just like the real Anthony from our class. He always try. So once I saw him. Like I won't spoil too much about people's personal lives, but I will say that like he tried to fake a tattoo once with Crayola things on his arm. Yeah, I saw that. He did. I saw it. I drew Crayola crayons on his, like black crayons on his arm to like fake some sort of tattoo. I think.
That's fucking dumb.
I know.
But yeah, technically, everyone has their own stereotypes. Like when I think weed, I think hippie. So that's all.
Yeah.
But yeah, he has a hippie aesthetic, and he has he's just like that. He has a golden tattoo on his right arm. I don't know. I'm incapable. I don't know my lefts and rights. So yeah, that's technically what he.
So next question. Sorry. God damn it. Just the next question. Who is this game made for? And is there a minimum age? Like, is it family friendly or is it would it be E-rated? And well, who would be targeted to play the game? Like, who do you think would be most interested in this game? What is the target audience?
Well, the target audience would be like. I don't know. Probably people who like weirdcore, people who like angst, drama, people who like plants, people who like kidcore stuff because it is kidcore as well. I'd say for now the age rating is about 14 to 18 plus, so minors under 14 can't play or watch gameplays of this. So yeah.
Yeah, but we haven't actually found a way to prevent people from actually to prevent people under 14 from playing this. Like, for example, there's tons of 13, 12, 11-year-olds on Discord, and unless they actually say their age or you hear them in voice chat, you can really assume that they're underage, but you would have no evidence. It's the same thing when like you're playing GTA 5. Like if you go to the store and you go with your parents, you're like 12, 14, you're a teenager. You go to a game store, you buy GTA 5. The store clerk's not gonna stop you from buying GTA 5, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like it's gonna be hard to enforce that. So, but we can do we can recommend it's possible to recommend that the game is going to be for people 14 and over, of course.
So, people who are 14 and under, don't blame me if you get traumatized, okay? Okay,
Yeah,
kid,
yeah.
go watch your Cocomelon.
Yeah. Yeah, but like the creators of the game are not responsible for any damage caused by the content in the game. We aren't responsible for that. So if you're underage, you play the game and well, you get traumatized by the content. It's not our responsibility. It's not our fault. So
It's your fault.
yeah.
You downloaded this. We're gonna put an age rating on it. If you don't follow the age rating, well, what the fucking do? You're traumatized.
Yeah, so yeah, just for all of you that we're not responsible for any damages caused by the content in the game. All right.
Anywho's.
So I don't know if you answered this already, but we're going to go ahead. How are the dialogues from the game going to be presented? Is it only text or is there voice acting? What is it?
As said, there will probably be there will be voice acting. The voice actors will be credited in the credits section of the game. And it will be a little fun thing where you get to discover them and discover their roles in real life sometimes. Yes.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, the game is I don't think there's not many there's not a lot of visual novels that include voice acting. So I think
Not much because it's pretty difficult to do.
this is a novelty in visual novels. And I think it's a true revolutionizing thing. I think it really adds a lot of the emotional baggage that players are supposed to feel in situations. Like for example, in this scene where Clover is bullying, we hear you voice acting Clover. Now I feel like the voice acting that you did for Clover Game Bully, saying please no stop and all that, it made me feel really bad for Clover. So like I think it really adds to what the player should feel when in certain situations in the game, and that will help motivate their actions towards what they want to do, and that's really really good.
Yeah. So if you're a cruel person, you have, again, spoilers, you have the choice to laugh with the bullies, but then you'll I don't want to spoil much.
Don't worry.
But yes, something will happen. Something
will happen, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so next question. What is the environment of the games and the category? What category of visual novels is it? So for the environment, is it supposed to be more of a scary environment? Is it supposed to be like more messed up? Is it supposed to be
5 minutes later?
Alright, we just had another small intermission, of course, and these intermissions aren't our fault. Okay, the intermissions are when something comes up, we have to cut the recording straight away. But we're here, we're back now, so again, I apologize.
Yeah,
So
sorry.
back to my question: what the environment of the game and what category is it? So is the environment scary? Is the environment dark? Is it supposed to make it look like everything's messed up, nothing's normal here? And the category of the visual novel, so like, is it a thriller visual novel? Is it more psychology related? Is it more emotional? Is it action? So yeah, category and environment. What is it?
technically the visual novel, the category of the visual novel would be like I guess it would be emotional and action because you have a lot of actions to do and it's pretty dramatic. So it's emotional, traumatic, and action, I guess. But the environment, it would be anxiety filled. It would make you think like nothing is normal, really, but it descends down into a rabbit hole of literally nothing is normal in the nothing is normal
Yeah,
world.
so
So
it's supposed to make
it's
you
really not normal.
anxious, like make you anxious, like think, like oh my god, what's gonna happen next? Am I gonna die? Like you're thinking that all the time, right? So
Yeah,
that's
most
what
of the time.
that's the environment that the game is pretty much set in. All right, last question: Is there any is there any more detailed backstory on Clover's? Is there any more detailed backstory on Clover, the main character or the protagonist, that happens before the main events in the game? So is there any information on Clover before the main events of the game that wouldn't be considered spoilers?
Well, technically, if you want the lore of Clover, if you're gonna be that interested in the game, um, technically he he's been in college for about got his like not master's degree. He's got what is
Well,
it?
yeah, he spent 4 years in college, so
Yeah,
that means
yeah.
he already has a bachelor's degree, which is a baccalaureate. And now that because he's still in college, that means he's majoring in psychology. That means that he's working on a master's degree. So he doesn't have a master's degree, he's studying to get a master's degree.
Yes. So Clover has studied psychology even before college, like I have. So he knows a bunch of stuff on psychology, and it's easy for him to pass the classes. Um, and he, yeah, he's been in college for about 4 years. He's been bullied in every school he went to. So, like primary school, middle school, and college, he has been bullied, of course. Um, and well, technically he's not always had like and this is a spoiler, he hasn't always had an abusive relationship with his father, and he has had friends but they have betrayed him as well.
Pretty simple. Yeah, pretty simple, yeah. And so, yeah, so Clover's backstory is also very based on a bit of your life too. And what
Yes, because
about
I love
Clover's
psychology.
personality? Is he really shy, or is he a straight A student?
Well, honestly, we could call Clover a nerd. No,
Yeah,
Clover is a
yeah,
nerd.
okay.
I remember once giving him like glasses in a tiny sketch. It didn't really go good. Maybe I should try it again. I don't know. Yeah, he's probably a nerd. He's probably a nerd. He's a straight A
Okay.
student.
He must
But
be.
he's honestly a pretty shy guy. He is sweet. When you get to know him, he's pretty weird as well. He's funny. He can get angry easily, but he tries to be the sweetest guy possible and
Okay.
not try to fight anyone.
That sounds a bit like me because before I used to be able to get really angry really quickly, but all I wanted to do is be very sweet to them. It sounds like if this character was a mix of you and me.
Technically, yes, I pick up personality traits wherever I go and put them on Clover, whether it fits.
Okay, cool. All right, and well, I think that will do it for this episode of Greencast. It's been about over 20 minutes, I think. So I hope I hope you have all enjoyed this episode of Greencast, and I hope that you have learned good information that you Hello everyone. I hope you enjoyed our first episode of Greencast. If you want to see more of this, you can subscribe and like the video. You can also join our official Discord server in the description. We'll see you in the we'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.